Okay, welcome everyone. Latest in the series of our Lunch and Learn webinars. Today's focus is going to be on the Pinnacle Series. It's a amazingly cool and robust learning platform. My name's Matt Burke, and I'm Vice President and Principal of M2 Technologies. You can see our agenda for today. Just going to do some quick introductions. We'll start off with Rose and Dolly.
Perfect. Thank you, Matt. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rose Otto. I'm a partner manager with Eagle Point Software, working very closely with Matt and the team at M2 to bring the Pinnacle Series to organizations like yours. So it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for attending today. Dolly?
Hi, everyone. Like they said, my name is Dolly Burke, and I am a customer success manager at Eagle Point Software. I will be doing the demonstration of the Pinnacle Series for you today. But as a customer success manager, I work with our clients during the implementation phase of Pinnacle Series. I will help you, set it up, show you how to use it, but then I also continue to work with our clients through the life of their subscription with the platform to help drive usage and user adoption of the platform. So it's very nice to be with you today.
Thanks, guys, or gals, don't want to. So who is M2? I think at this point, most of you guys on this call know us, but if not, we're a manufacturing consulting firm, 24 plus years in business. I've been around this industry for coming on just short of 30 years coming up, and started with AutoCAD 2.1. And we partner with manufacturing and design firms around the country looking to improve processes in supporting initiatives around globalization, urbanization, and sustainability. We offer a broad range of services that support those initiatives. You can see them on the screen here. Rather than run down this list, I just want to take a brief 30 seconds to talk about why I'm so excited about this partnership with Pinnacle. For years, training fell into having to attend a training class locally, and there is nothing that will ever replace that interactive and iterative conversation process with an instructor. But modern technologies are bringing us a lot closer. So we moved from, or augmented that live learning with videos, and you could go and get video content. Well, the problem with the video content is it's not indexable. It doesn't really support workflows. You've got to really understand what it is you're searching for to be able to find that content, etc. And I don't think it helps in management of teams. So we started looking around for solutions, and to handle not only the learning aspects of it, but the administrative aspects of it, and then the reporting aspects of it for HR compliancy. And we ran across Eagle Point and the Pinnacle Series and this great, tremendous platform that checked off a lot of these boxes we were looking for. And then we spent the better part of the last 18 months working with them on their content for supporting manufacturing and make sure that it was a broad range. It wasn't just Inventor and how to draw some prismatic block on your screen, but that it would support extended workflows that allowed us to look at sheet metal, Autodesk Vault, AutoCAD Mechanical, 3ds Max, and etc. And what we've found, what Eagle Point developed was this very, very comprehensive solution. And then to add to that, I don't want to steal their thunder, but they actually have this really cool knowledge check application. So if you're managing a department and you have 9 or 10 designers that have all joined at different times and been exposed to different trainings or not having any formal training, when you decide to take live training, where do you start? So this allows us to also create foundation level sets so that if you want to take extended live training for something that's not in this tool, you can still do it, but ensure that everybody that's attending has that ability. And last but not least, I think for me was we also understand software updates in a fairly regular basis. What we've witnessed with Eagle Point is this devotion and almost maniacal administration to ensure that as these new products roll out, whether it be Autodesk or Microsoft or other products that they support in their e-learning application, that they are a quick follow with that updated content. So you're not sitting there looking at an AutoCAD screen that was AutoCAD 2000 and then looking at your AutoCAD 2022 screen and going, okay, they look nothing alike. They've done a fantastic job of keeping these things mirrored together. And again, with incredibly robust administration and management tools. And the last part, I guess, in there for us was when we started to bring this to clients recently, one of the things that excited us was the ability that we're able to create custom content with our partners. So if you have unique workflows, these are great ways to introduce and ensure that everybody understands that workflow and begins to design in the same fashion. If you have workflows that aren't even CAD related that are unique, maybe it's your ECO process. And right now you get that information to new users through tribal knowledge transfer, the old Q&A, which means that same guy is going to come back to you and ask the same question 4 or 5 times until he remembers it. This is a great tool to manage that. You go and record it, and now they have this recording they can go back to, and it's not just that one person can go back to it, it's everybody on your team, everybody in your company from today until, you know, infinitum. So we're really, really excited about this partnership. We're incredibly impressed with the investment Eagle Point is making in taking a platform that was originally developed as an AEC learning platform and really migrating it and changing it and morphing it into an AEC and manufacturing learning platform. So that's it for me. I'm going to turn it over to Dolly, and the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Matt, for this great introduction. I hope all of that sounded very exciting. We're definitely very excited to show you the platform and how we can solve the challenges that Matt spoke about. So before I turn it over to Dolly, actually, I just want to quickly tell you a little bit about Eagle Point Software, the company behind the Pinnacle Series, so you have an understanding of where we come from as a business. So we've been around for quite a while. We're a company of architects and engineers, construction managers. Matt talked about how he initially started creating content in this platform for the AEC industry, but we have really started to work with M2 to make sure that we have all the content and platform features for the manufacturing industry. So we're growing our team constantly, working very closely with M2. So it's been a really, really great partnership so far, and we're excited to continue this partnership. So to tell you more about Pinnacle Series, we started this platform in 2006, and in 2021, this year, we acquired KnowledgeSmart, and Matt briefly talked about that integration to be able to assess your users, understand where they are at with their skills levels, to be able to personalize training for them in the Pinnacle Series. So that's a very exciting development we'll tell you more about today. We have about 275,000 users in the platform globally. We are one of the founding members of the Autodesk Developer Network, which means that we get early access to new releases, and we're able to really make sure that we have everything updated and that we, are ahead of the game, so to say. And obviously with M2, we work together on this content to make sure that's all published on time and of great quality as well. We're also an authorized publisher with Autodesk too. So that will wrap that up. I'll turn it over to Dolly to talk about the challenges that we identified and really the why of Pinnacle Series. So Dolly, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you, Rose. So before I bring up Pinnacle Series and start showing you around, like Rose was saying, I just really want to give you an understanding of why Pinnacle Series exists, we have found that there's these 3 common challenges that many organizations face. These are laid out here on the slide. I'm going to spend just a few minutes explaining each of these challenges so we can understand how Pinnacle Series can help, and then we'll jump over to the platform for the rest of the demonstration here. So the first challenge, this concept of continuous learning covers a few different challenge areas. Whether it's onboarding new employees and bringing them up to speed, you need to be able to give the new employees the training they need to complete their day-to-day work. Or for your existing employees, you want to be able to provide training as an opportunity for them to take their skills to the next level. Also, with the technologies that are being used, new versions are always being released and users need a way to maintain their knowledge level. Pinnacle Series comes loaded with training courses for a variety of technologies. The platform provides on-demand training for your users, when they need it, but also when they have the time to do it. The next challenge is knowledge capturing and sharing. For many organizations, it can be a challenge to capture knowledge, or think of it as your company standards, processes, maybe best practices, and then be able to share that information throughout your organization to all of the users. Having this information not only documented, but also consistently updated and easily accessible can be a challenge, especially today. If you look at how we're working, many organizations have employees spread across multiple locations, or many of us are working remotely, or not necessarily, working in the same office at the same time, like we're used to doing. It can be difficult to establish that centralized location of information that users can access regardless of where they're working from. With Pinnacle Series, you can easily upload any custom content to the platform. You will have unlimited cloud storage to upload any sort of documents, videos, PDFs, any sort of training materials that you utilize. All of this information then becomes searchable on the platform, and any of the materials that you add can be incorporated into the training that's being assigned out to your users, so that way you can be sure they're learning about your process or your best practice there. So having all this information or knowledge in one place makes it easier for employees to find what they need and stay productive, which brings us to the last challenge of increasing productivity. So if we look at the way that users are currently using Pinnacle Series today, half of them are using it for the on-demand, e-learning courses. The other half of users are logging into Pinnacle Series, finding the answer to their question or problem, and then getting right back to work. People need answers to their questions, and they need to be able to find those answers quickly in order to stay productive. So Pinnacle Series, really starts with the learning, the training content, but then becomes a central location to share all of your tips and tricks, best practices, company standards, all in one location, so everyone knows where to go, and of course makes it easily accessible there as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up Pinnacle Series. We're here on the home page, and just a few things off the top that I'd like to mention. Well, first of all, Pinnacle Series is a browser-based solution, making it very easy for your users to access wherever they have internet. I'm logged in using Chrome, but you can use whichever browser you prefer. Just, on the overall look and feel of the platform, we allow all of our clients to customize the platform for their users. So any of the images, the colors, the fonts that you see can be modified so that it has the look and feel of your organization. We're logged into the M2 Technologies tenant, so obviously they have it branded for their organization, but this is just an example. You can even rearrange the different areas of the platform. If there's something that you're not going to utilize, that can be removed, but just fully allowing you to customize the experience for your users, and so that they can recognize it as part of your organization and as a trusted resource as well. So now at a high level, I kind of wanted to give you an overview of the different sections of the home page and how it's kind of laid out. When a user logs in, what they see on their home page will be customized to that specific user and really just helps them get quick access to what they might need. So depending on what work groups a user is a part of will drive what they see in this section. Maybe the user is part of a project team and needs to find a best practice to follow. A work group can be created for that project. They can log into Pinnacle Series and find what they need fairly quickly. In this My Courses section, a user will see any of the courses that they're currently enrolled into. So from their homepage, they can quickly jump back into the training where they left off the last time. Now, users logging in to access some content or maybe to get some guidance, they can use the search feature up top, or they can browse for information over here on the left in this area that we call asset libraries. Now, this is where all the content on the platform is organized and can be browsed by the user. There are two sections that make up this asset library. So I'm going to start with this Adobe and going on down. These are the public preloaded libraries that are available with a Pinnacle Series subscription. Meaning our team here at Eagle Point and our partners such as M2 are maintaining the content within these libraries. So as things need to be updated, our team will update the content for you. So you can see there's a long list of technologies, and we can expand some of these to see everything that's included. Autodesk being the largest of the library, 3ds Max, AutoCAD, BIM 360, Formit, InfraWorks, Inventor, Revit. There's quite a list there, but we also have content outside of Autodesk as well. So we look at Bluebeam. We have some more of maybe human resource type content, so business and management skills, health and safety, and then a large Microsoft library as well. So just want to give you an idea of the types of content that is available. But if we go ahead and jump into one of these libraries, I kind of just want to show you how this is laid out here for you. So if I hop into Inventor, you can see across the top the version years that are included. So as the technologies are updated, the content within Pinnacle Series will also be updated. So depending on what version year you are using, you just toggle back to that year. Now from this landing page, I just want to introduce the asset types, how we are presenting this content to your user. So in this Inventor library, you can see that we have several learning paths, and every learning path is made up of different courses. So really a lot of material for the users here. And learning paths are the on-demand e-learning courses that users are enrolled into. They kind of work through that structured curriculum to learn a new skill or to fill a knowledge gap. And kind of in contrast to learning paths, we have a large library of videos within this Inventor library. So our learning paths could be 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the course. Our videos are 5 minutes or less. So if a user is in project work and they have a question, need to find that quick answer, they can watch a 5-minute or less video, get what they need, and then get back to work. So lots of resources for the users here in these libraries. Now, this library up top is the custom content library for, in this case, M2, but if this was your tenant, a Pinnacle Series, this would be your custom content library. So any internal best practices, training materials, documents, videos that you import into Pinnacle Series will be organized into your own asset library up top here, so that way users can find the content that is relevant or specific to your processes and what they might be needing. You have the ability to name these folders or subfolders whatever you wish, depending on the content that you do add. And it's important to remember that you have unlimited storage, so you don't need to worry about running out of space. You can think of this beyond training on the technologies. If there are other departments that want to incorporate materials, if your human resources team maybe wants to add documentation if you wanted to create a full like onboarding experience for new users. Those type of materials can also be incorporated into Pinnacle Series, because once we have them in Pinnacle Series, that's when we can assign them out to users as well. So this is really just helping create that central repository of information, and it's really just the first step in being able to share that information or knowledge throughout your organization. So that's kind of I guess, a high-level overview of the homepage. But if we go back to the beginning of this presentation when I was explaining those common challenges, I now want to show you the areas of Pinnacle Series that will help with each of these challenges. So starting with the first challenge of continuous learning and the challenge of being able to provide employees with training for onboarding or your existing employees to advance their skill set. This My Courses section is primarily how users will access the training. They can, of course, browse the asset library to find training to self-enroll into, or a manager or admin can also assign learning to a user. But once that enrollment has taken place, that the assignment will appear here in the My Courses section on their homepage. So if we go ahead and jump into an example here, I just want to show you how these learning paths or these courses are laid out. So on the left-hand side, you can see the list of training materials that make up the course. So this is the curriculum that the user is working through within this course. So the platform is going to guide the user. So as one video ends, it'll jump to the next item in the list. Our learning paths are primarily videos, but some will include, an exercise for the user to work through within the technology, and then most will include a quiz at the end as well. If the user needs to leave in the middle of the training for any reason, that's fine. Pinnacle Series will remember where they were, and they can jump right back into the materials the next time they log in. Now, this is an example of the preloaded content that comes in Pinnacle Series, but taking that one step further and allowing you to fully customize the experience for your users, you can take any of our public content, customize it so that it fits your organization. So let's say you have, or let's say this training is 90% of how you'd want to do the training for your users, but maybe just want to incorporate your own custom document, your own custom video. You can import those materials into Pinnacle Series and then include them in this curriculum, if you will, this list of training materials, so that they are working through your custom materials as well. So that way you can be sure users are learning about your processes or your standards when they are being assigned their training. You can also author your own learning path from scratch if you want to use all custom materials. That's also definitely doable. All right, so now that we have some training, we can begin to assign it out to users, but to go along with that, we want to be able to report on, who's completing the training, how long it's taking them, some of the other learning data. So the platform provides a few different ways to keep track of the learning that is being done. From an end user perspective, they would have access to this learning center up top. From here, they could see their personal enrollment history. So I could see any of the courses that I've completed. If I click into a course, I can get a few more details here. If I have completed 100% of the course, then I can download a certificate of completion. If that's needed to turn in for any reason, I can download that here. I can also review those quiz questions and answers. Maybe see what I might have missed on that learning path and get the correct answer. Now that is the end user, reporting that they have available to them. As a manager, as an admin, you would have access to a lot more of the learning data through our management utility here. We have a learning report section. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out, date range a little bit here. So this is going to open up to like a high level dashboard review of some of our learning reports. So if we want to see who's currently enrolled, what courses were completed during this time, who are our top learners, how much time it's taking the users to complete the training, and then an overall learning path progress report as well. If we need to dive into the details of any of these reports, we can do so. There's a report detail link on each of these dashboards. And this will allow us to filter down. If we want to filter down by individual user, we can do so. We can also take a look at the raw data and filter down this way. I'm going to go ahead and unfilter this so you can get an idea of how much information is being tracked, through our reporting tool. So it's username, name of the learning report, the status of the user in that learning, what was the enrollment date. If we scroll over here, this is where we can get some more details of how much of the content has been reviewed so far, how many minutes has it taken them, and then if they have reached the end of that learning path and completed the quiz, what was the score that they received. So a lot of data being tracked through our utility. You have the option to export it through Excel. We have the option to set up an API to get you data back that way if you have another system for reporting. But you can also just use our utility here to kind of drag and drop the column headers and narrow down pretty quickly to find maybe which a specific user and a specific learning path that you are looking for. All right, so that is the reporting here. In the same way that we have learning report, I'll just touch on this real quick. We have the same type of reporting for usage of the platform. So if you wanted to see, how many users are logging in, what resources are being used most often by your users, or what searches are they doing when they come out to the platform. This is helpful information if you're reviewing as far as managing content, making sure we have enough content for what the users are looking for, or maybe it's an opportunity if we have 30 people looking for a specific topic, maybe that's an opportunity to hold a live session, which is kind of where I want to go next. So back on the home page here, I want to highlight this upcoming live events, this live event calendar that we have in Pinnacle Series. Here at Eagle Point, we believe in a blended learning approach. So by blended, I mean we of course have the on-demand courses in this on your homepage here, and the users will complete these materials on their own time when they have the time to do so. But the live event calendar allows you to incorporate live instructor-led training alongside the e-learning content. So your internal experts, maybe your training coordinators, maybe your HR team, maybe the team at M2 can help you organize and lead a live training event. And from Pinnacle Series, the event can be organized, users can be invited, they can be allowed to register as well. And some of that same reporting that I was just showing you, applies to the live events as well. Pinnacle can help you track the attendance of the event, surveys can be sent out. So really a lot of resources available to you through this live event calendar. And then users can, of course, browse the calendar, see what upcoming training is available to them, and register for events as needed. So really just another way to provide training to you through Pinnacle Series. So bringing us back to those common challenges, we discussed, the learning opportunities. I showed you, or I guess I introduced you how materials can be added to the platform and then organized into a custom library or into the training. So that brings us to that last challenge of productivity. So let's say your users are now through training and onboarding and focusing on project work. They can use Pinnacle Series to find, quick answers to their questions or get the help they need if they get stuck. So from the homepage, there are a few areas that help users, get right to the content that they need. So kind of how we already discussed, a user could browse through the asset libraries, or they could use the search feature up top. When the platform is doing that search, it's going to look both through all of the preloaded content that we obviously provide, but also any materials that you have incorporated into the platform as well. There are filter options on the left-hand side if they want to filter down by technology, version year, maybe by asset type as well. So far we've talked about learning paths, but I do want to introduce the other types of assets we have on the platform. So the other ways that we're providing content to your users. So documents, you can think of these as quick, helpful information, tips and tricks, maybe some frequently asked questions or troubleshooting steps. Documents usually will include some screenshots or some helpful links, but just walking the user through some quick steps, usually to troubleshoot there. All of our pieces of content have these icons up top. If you need to quickly share this document to another user, you can copy a link, share via email, share internally within Pinnacle Series as well. Maybe you've read through this document and this wasn't exactly what you were looking for. You can check out the related window here to see, what is similar, and maybe get that answer for you there as well. All right, and next we have videos. Like I said earlier, videos are quick how-to type videos. The intention is to get the user the information they need and get them back to work, but just a few things about our videos. You'll notice the transcript on the right. The transcript is helpful for a few different reasons, but one being navigating the video. If I scroll ahead and maybe found what I need, I can click into the transcript and the video is going to jump ahead to that point. Or same thing applies if I need to go back and rewatch something. I can rewind that way. Any videos that you import into Pinnacle Series can also be auto-transcribed through our utility. And that transcription is going to help with that search that I was just showing you. So when Pinnacle Series does the search for the user, it's looking through titles, descriptions, but it's also scanning through all of the transcriptions to pull that list of results. If you do have any users that would need Pinnacle Series in another language, we do offer Pinnacle Series in 60 different languages, and the transcription is what can be translated. So the user would each have their own user profile, and they can select the language of the platform from here, and that would update that transcription that I was just showing you, but also any of the written word on the platform as well. So our last asset type is a workflow, and workflows are a visual guide of a process or a best practice. It's going to walk the user, step by step through that process and provide details of what needs to be done or how I can complete the step in the process. So on the left-hand side, we have the outline or tree view of the workflow. You see I can expand these steps here to see the individual task. In the middle, we have an interactive diagram view that I can zoom in, follow along, but when I click into the steps, that's when the details will appear on the right-hand side of the screen. So this is, if I was a user, these are the details I'm reading through to see how I can complete this step. Within the details, there are some helpful links. There are reference videos, so if I need a quick reminder on how to do something, I can pop open that video without losing my spot in the workflow. So workflows are a very helpful tool to have maybe your project open on one screen, following along to workflow on your other screen, ensuring you are following the correct process the first time you work on something, instead of hopefully eliminating any need for rework down the road. In the same way that we were talking about the learning content, we allow our clients to take any of our content, so including workflows, copy it down, and then customize it so that it's following your process or your best practice. You also will have the utilities to, once again, author your own workflow from scratch, included in Pinnacle Series here as well. Now, bringing us back to the idea of keeping users productive and the areas of the platform that will help users get the information they need, this My Work Groups up top here is a way to pull together the right group of content for the right group of people. So you could create work groups for teams, discipline, maybe project, location, whatever is needed. Because what I've shown you so far, there's a lot of content on the platform. And work groups is really a way to filter down the content that's relevant to a specific group of people, and it's just giving them quick access to what they might be needing on a daily basis, from their homepage, because they're only going to see the work groups that they are a part of. So if I jump into a work group here, just kind of show you how this interface is set up. It opens up to the asset tab. So these are in this case, these are some videos that have been pulled together for this group of people. If there was any training courses included in here, we could assign training from work groups as well. Anytime a new item is added to this tab, all the members of the group will receive a notification that there is something new for them to review. There's a discussion tab where members of the group can leave comments or feedback for other members of the group as well. On the members tab, this is where we could add or remove users. There's different levels of permissions within a work group as well, as far as who can assign learning, add materials, other items like that. All right. Here on this homepage, we have this My Asset section. This is a favorites or a bookmark, that you're used to seeing in a browser. So as users are browsing the libraries or completing training, they can use that share icon that I had showed you to save it to their My Asset section. And this will really just give them a quick link, from their homepage to something they might be needing or might want to visit often. All right, so kind of going back to the beginning of this presentation, KnowledgeSmart came up. So KnowledgeSmart has been a longtime partners of ours here at Eagle Point Software, but now we have, they are now part of our organization, but we have a full integration with KnowledgeSmart, and KnowledgeSmart provides technology assessments for individual users, and based on the results of those assessments, every user can receive a personalized learning path. So how this process kind of looks, if we go into this learning assessment area, we could assign a course to a user, okay? And that user would have to complete all the materials that make up that course. Or we could first assign out a KnowledgeSmart assessment to the user. Once we kind of continue on, complete this enrollment, the user will receive an invitation to complete the assessment. Once the assessment is completed, the results will automatically generate a personalized learning path right on the user's homepage. So to show you what this looks like, I actually have to bring up my demonstration tenant here because I couldn't assign myself something in M2. But on my homepage, you can see I have the Civil 3D as an example learning path. So there is this trophy icon, meaning this is a personalized learning path. I have completed the assessment and was automatically enrolled into this learning path that will only cover the topics that are needed, based on the results of that assessment. So this looks similar to the learning path that I was just showing you, but just some of the differences I want to point out. Up top, you can see that I was enrolled in 10 out of the 16 courses. So based on the score of my assessment, I have tested out of 6 of the courses, which is essentially several hours of training that I'm saving myself because I've shown that I understand those topics. There's also this Show All Topics toggle, and you'll see that KnowledgeSmart icon appear again. These are showing the individual training material items that I'm skipping over, based on that assessment. So it's really a helpful tool for users to receive a targeted learning path based on the topics that are needed, and that way they're not spending time on training on stuff that they already understand. Also, as a manager, as an admin, it gives you an idea of the user's knowledge level and see what other opportunities maybe we can provide as far as training. All right, just a few more areas here. I do want to talk just about a little bit of the setup of Pinnacle Series, hopefully answer any questions that might come up. But here on the administrator utility, this is where we can add users to the platform. We can import from Excel, or we can also sync with an Active Directory if you kind of want to automate the maintenance of that user list automatically as users come and go from your organization. We have options for single sign-on to make it, very easy for your users to get in there. On the permissions tab, this is where we would organize all of the users into groups, and the groups is where, or excuse me, the groups is what will drive the user's permission on the platform. So, as far as who can assign learning, view reporting, or manage the content, or if they're just going to be a standard user. So this is really where my team, the customer success team, will work with you during the implementation phase to learn more about your organization, how your users are organized, and kind of reflect that same organizational structure within these groups as well. All right, I do just have a slide here to summarize some of the key points from the overview that I just did. With Pinnacle Series, we are hoping to help our clients with these common challenges. So being able to provide training for users to continuously learn new skills and stay up to date on the latest in the technology, that they are using on a daily basis. Not only providing e-learning courses, but also a platform to host live training, and webinars. Also, being able to capture knowledge from your internal experts, or document, your internal processes and best practices, and then be able to easily share that information throughout your organization. Finally, we want to help users stay productive by keeping all of these materials and resources at your fingertips. Being able to find the short video or the helpful documents quickly so users can stay productive while they are working on a project, but also making sure they get the assistance that they need. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and bring back Rose.
Thanks so much, Dolly. That was a great presentation. If there are any questions for Dolly, any questions on the platform, if you'd like to know more, learn more about the customer success program we have in place for our enterprise clients, let us know. We can speak about that a little bit more. But thank you so much, Dolly. So I'll talk quickly about what a Pinnacle subscription looks like. So first of all, it is a subscription. You'll have access to the Pinnacle series for an entire year. That really ensures that your users have the support they needed and really feel empowered, and you can continue to solve those challenges. And our customer success team will help you with that, of course. So the asset libraries, Dolly covered everything that we have in the platform. Now, as she mentioned too, everything is fully customizable, so we can pick and choose our asset libraries, turn off anything that's irrelevant, and then add, of course, anything that we already have created, or we can create anything we'd like or customize anything that is existing in the platform. We have content available in over 90 languages if you have users preferring a different language. Live events that we put on, M2 puts on, that you can create and host in the platform. We do have support in the platform available as well. We are working on related learning plugins to work with Inventor and Vault. So that's a really nice feature coming to the platform soon. Then everything's cloud-based, and you get unlimited storage in the Pinnacle series as well. Now, what I want to cover quickly for any smaller teams that are on the platform today, we have an option available called Pinnacle Lite, and as the name suggests, it's a scaled down version. So for those single users or very small teams, this is an option available to them. But if you are a larger organization or a larger team, the Pinnacle series is really the way to go. So to quickly cover some of the exclusive features that come with the Pinnacle series, think about some of the features that Dolly showed you at the end. So those reports, for example, understanding usage, making sure you get an ROI on Pinnacle series, and then unlimited customization and content creation. The integration with KnowledgeSmart so that we can assess users and create a personalized learning path for them. offline content if you are, working anywhere you don't have internet access, or, on your phone when you're traveling, etc. Active Directory to make it a very seamless experience and help make that adoption even smoother. We have an open API if you already have a learning management platform in place or anything else that you want to make sure works with Pinnacle Series. Our customer success team will help with that too. Unlimited cloud storage, work groups, social sharing, notifications, everything you need in order to make Pinnacle Series a success. So if there are any questions on that, please drop them in the chat, but I'll turn it over to Matt right now to talk about getting access to Pinnacle Series.
Thanks, Rose, and thanks, Dolly. That was a fantastic overview, and hopefully everybody can see why and understand why M2 is so excited to be partnering with Pinnacle. So you can get a free trial of this. You just simply have to reach out to your account manager. You can reach out directly to me, or you can email us or visit us on the web and request it. We look forward to having those requests come in. Although we're not going to cover pricing, I will just throw this out there because I know it sits in the back of everybody's head. The pricing model for Pinnacle is quite affordable for the single user up to the company that's looking to cover thousands of users within this tool. So please don't think price is going to be an obstacle. Please reach out to us. Claim your free trial and get started with Pinnacle today.
Perfect. So let's open the floor for any questions. I know that some came in through the chat, so I can address some that came up right away. One question was, how up to date is content? So we work with M2 and get early access to Autodesk releases so that we can update content as soon as possible. Normally, we have everything updated within 30 days. And throughout your subscription too, we'll update the content for you. On top of that, M2 can help you with that as well. Let's see. A question about how secure is your platform. So everything's backed by Microsoft Azure to keep all your content secure. What I'll also add is that every organization gets their own platform, their own tenant. So anything that you upload there will only be available to your organization. Definitely keep the questions coming, or feel free to follow up with us afterwards. Matt, any questions or anything that you would like us to dive into a little bit deeper or explain about?
You were so thorough. I am out of questions.
Perfect. Anything, Dolly, that you would like to add? Maybe you'd like to touch on customer success for a little bit?
Oh yeah, I can say a few things about customer success. I'd love to do that, Rose. Just a little bit about our team here, and just a rollout of Pinnacle Series. We don't have like a one-size-fits-all implementation plan for rolling out Pinnacle Series, because what we have learned is that every organization that we work with has different communication styles, different learning styles, different day-to-day workflows, and different challenges. So in the beginning, we're going to want to have a discussion on, your users, your organization, what is going to work for you, and how we can roll this out in a way that is going to make the most sense. And then, kind of like I said in the beginning, we don't just roll this out and then, that's the end of our communication. We will continue to meet with you to review reporting, identify opportunities to expand the platform, and drive usage to really make sure that you are getting the most out of your subscription with Pinnacle Series.
Perfect. Well, we can monitor the chat box to see if there's any questions that come in, but if not, any last words, Matt or Dolly?
Just thank you everyone for your time.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
I second that. Thank you everyone for your time. If you do have questions, you think of them after the fact, feel free to email me directly or email at info@m2t.com. and look forward to working with your teams and bringing Pinnacle into your organization.